Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening. Honorable guests, speakers, and participants, both in person and online, I'm honored to welcome you to the parallel event of the 68th NGO CSW Forum. My name is Winnie Chow, and I'm your moderator for today's event. Our topic is Global Insight, Women's Economic Empowerment Forum from New York to Taiwan. Today, we are thrilled to present a remarkable event brought to you by Women's Federation for World Peace, Taiwan, and Cai Xueni Charity Foundation, Taipei. We have invited 6 exceptional speakers from various fields to host a global discussion on the critical topic on women's economic empowerment. No matter where you are, in person or joining online, we are grateful to have your participation. A brief outline of our agenda today. We have a brief introduction of the 2 organizations sponsoring this event. Then I will introduce our speakers and share their insights on the topic of women's economic empowerment. After they have finished their presentations, we will have a question and answer session. We welcome you to raise questions. For online audience, please drop your questions in the chat box. Thank you. Next. Can someone help me with the slides? Thank you. Okay. Can I have the next slide? Next, please. Okay, first of all, I would like to start with a brief introduction of myself. I'm Winnie, and I'm the VP of WFWP Taiwan, Chair for Cai Xueni Charity Foundation Taipei, and CEO of Deyu Education Group. In Deyu Education Group, we provide comprehensive and personalized education services for all age groups, from toddlers to elders in Taiwan. Well, education is the core foundation for human development and advancement of mankind. In today's rapidly evolving world, the importance of lifelong learning cannot be overstated. I believe as a global citizen, we should be committed to fostering an environment where individuals could continuously enhance their skills, broaden, and connect with each other in a peaceful and productive manner. Next, please. Next, okay, thank you. I'm pleased to introduce Cai Xueni Charity Foundation Taipei. It was founded by my mother in 1988. Initially, she ran her home economic center in Taipei, but later she shifted her focus to education after becoming a mother at the age of 38. She recognized the importance of early childhood education and parental education. She has dedicated her life to supporting families and instructors in teaching and guiding students through Kumon education system. Her mottos are, "Education is my passion, service is my joy. Good fortune shared with others." Next, please. Cai Xueni Charity Foundation Taipei offers a comprehensive array of services, which include organizing training programs for caretakers for elderly, conducting seminars on parental education, early childhood education, and special needs support topics, implement of Kumon programs in school projects, the donation of ambulances and rehabilitation buses to local hospitals and care centers. In recent years, we're very honored to have the opportunity to partner with associations like WFWP Taiwan to cultivate young women to participate in international affairs. We're proud to introduce to you Ms. Sandra Chang. Sandra, can you wave your hand, please? She's our 2023 selected candidate from our Young Women Talent Development Program, WFWP Taiwan. And myself, I'm a 2nd-generation member of WFWP Taiwan, and I chair one of the 4 committees under the association. Next, please. Now, I would like to introduce to our very own Professor Emeritus Wang Lirong. She's the Professor Emeritus of the Department of Social Work at National University National Taiwan University, and is the standing director of WFWP Taiwan. Her dedication to raising awareness among young women on international and domestic women-related topics is truly respectable. I would like to invite her to provide an introduction of herself, her work, and of WFWP Taiwan. Professor Wong, the floor is yours.
.365 forums around, and we are lucky to have you here because you are special to join us. And since time is limited, as Winnie just said, we don't have much time. Really, everybody should catch on the time. So I will spend 5 minutes to introduce WFP Taiwan. And WFP Taiwan is a long-standing, outstanding organization in terms of INGO in this in Taiwan and even in United States in the world. And before that, I just give myself a little bit introduction. I joined WFP maybe more than 10 years, but sorry, I'm not inactive in the early years. Now I just retired, so I'm going to put more effort for the charity and some voluntary program for the women in our society. Next, please. And WFP, as you might know, it is so famous not because of working for the women and girls, particularly for the family. I call this is a family-oriented association, which really emphasizes how to help women in terms of their life cycle, young or even the middle age or the elderly. So spend a lot of program regarding how women stage might face kind of difficulty in their life, but no matter what age you work, got services from this organization. And honorably, WFP was one of INGO in terms of high standard, high recognized by the UN EXCOS. So it's not easy because this organization got this recognition very early in 1996 something. So this is a very important. Let's see how it's respectable in this world in looking at the WFP. Next, please. And we are honored to have a chair who is very sincerely helping this organization develop right now. And looking at all the women here, all our shoulder, it actually is very, very heavy because there are a lot of work on their shoulder. Next, please. And I wanted to show you how WFP Taiwan can be very remarkable in terms of service for the women and girls. First one, in terms of program structure, these programs are composed of types of programs. One is empower young youth. Second one is empower family and women. Third one is empower young girls and some special program for capacity building for the girls. And the last one for senior citizens like me. I'm sorry, I'm enjoying this program right now. I'll do a presentation, but I don't have time. You might join WFP because this is a whole life holistic program provided for women and girls from young to old. Even the aging, we call the graceful aging society, we need this program too. Next, please. Maybe it's gone. Oh, okay. So let me conclude a little bit. We work very hard in terms of life cycle of the men and women. And from the age you are young, for young generation, we provide anti-drug and anti-AIDS program, health program, and independent program for youth. This is so important. We use Xiaojington as the kind of ambassador working for young people. This is very successful. Every year we attract many students from campus. And secondly, I would like to add, for the young girls, here you can see so outstanding. They are selected and trained by the young girls program. We call capacity building program for women, particularly get into the international affairs. We know they need the platform for their future. So we work very hard for this part. And thirdly, I would like to say many famous has been suffered because of single family happen or elderly care of many happen. So we have family oriented program by counseling, by service program, or by resources referral program to help family in this, there's any kind of stage. And lastly, in terms of my age, you can see elderly program is so crucial. So we have a graceful aging academy, help women to be aging gracefully. Thank you very much, Says.
Thank you, Professor Wong, for sharing. You have always been guiding us, and with the Elderly's program that was created during COVID period. I remember we were all at home and we had a conversation. It's like, yeah, we should do something for elderlies. And then we started the Elderly's program. And it's been very well accepted. And we have many members joining. Okay, thank you. Can I have the next slide, please? So without further ado, I would like to Ms. Yi-Shen Lin, of and her on working family conflict and women's economic empowerment. Policy matters. Ms. Lin, the floor is yours.
These masks. Economic empowerment, policy matters. I will first talk about women's economic empowerment in the context of work-family interface research, and then I will give you an overview of work-family conflict, and then its implications for gender equality, and why policy matters to address these issues, and the impact of work-family policies on women's economic empowerment, and some directions for future advocacy, and also some concluding thoughts. All right, so work-family interface researchers actually recognize both work and family domains are very important aspects of people's life. However, they do experience some paradigm shifts in the way they study work-family domains. In the past 2 decades, they began to adopt a more holistic approach to studying work and family, and they actually highlight the earner and caregiver model, where both men and women will be encouraged to be both earners and caregivers for their work and for their families. And so I will argue that this earner and carer model is the best way to ensure our women's economic well-being or economic empowerment via reducing work-family conflict, enhancing women's labor force participation, their attachment to labor force markets, and redistributing unpaid care work to men and the state. And so that's why my presentation will be focusing on how policy, especially work-family policies, can help reduce work-family conflict and hence enhance women's economic empowerment. All right. So work-family conflict is defined as a form of inter-role conflict. Actually, it can be experienced as both objective and subjective incompatibility between work and family demands, manifested especially in time-based conflict and strength-based conflict. So time-based conflict means that when you spend more time in work domain, you will have less time spent at home and vice versa. And then strength-based conflict means that the stress or the pressure demands that you experience at work front will spill over into your family front, and hence enhance your functionality and your overall well-being at home and vice versa. And overall, work-family conflict has been maintained by changed nature of work, such as nowadays 24/7 economy, and that means more and more people working very long hours, especially for professionals, and also by using technology. We all have, WeChat or Line or many other technologies that help us to be able to work from home, but that actually also blur the boundaries between work and family and domains, so that kind of increase work-family experience, work-family conflict experienced by workers. And also many people actually begin to work on non-standard shifts. They may have multiple shifts, and who may be contingent workers, and that makes them to reconcile or to have a more stable schedule for both work and family more difficult for them. And also increasing job insecurity through downsizing, outsourcing, mergers also bring more demands and pressure for the work life for many working people, especially working parents. And that actually maintained and perpetuated work-family conflict. And also unchanged nature of work, such as the outdated assumptions about gender roles, right? And outdated assumptions about separate sphere of work-family still very persisting in our working settings. That means that workers are still expected to devote their whole life, devote their whole time to their work, assuming there'll be someone at home to take care of everything from home. And that is outdated thinking. Nowadays, both women and men actually participated highly in labor force markets. And so these outdated assumptions actually prevent the work settings to have a more progressive schedule or design, or provide more progressive support for their working parents, for their workers who have working caregiving responsibilities. And actually that help them to continue to have experienced these work-family conflict among diversified workforce, especially among working parents with young children and workers with caregiving responsibilities. And workers across the globe, especially, like I say, working parents with young children and workers with caregiving responsibilities, perceive and experience increased work-family conflicts, and it is indicated by these increasing caregiving responsibilities across the globe and in the United States and in New York State, measured by age dependency ratio, you can see here. And so these increasing caregiving responsibilities kind of have implications for increasing work-family conflict experienced by workers. Of course, and work-family conflict has really dysfunctional and detrimental effects on the overall well-being of individuals, impact negatively on individual work life, family life, and their overall physical and mental health. And also, work-family conflict has detrimental effects on children's well-being through lower quality parenting behavior, higher family stress, less family satisfaction, and so on. And conflict actually also have negative effects on organizations in terms of high turnover rates and lower productivity, lower commitment to work, and also lower satisfaction in work life. And also, there's still gender gap in caregiving responsibilities. And so women are still spending more time than men, more hours a week than men on housework and caregiving across nations. And this is a phenomenon known as soul revolution and incomplete revolution, where women are actually spend more time in labor force. However, men didn't spend more time in their home life, although we see some progress, but they are still very lagging in the contributions they make at home. And so, excuse me, I really should be very familiar with this better. And then, so that have impacts on work-family conflict they experience. So that means women are more likely than men to experience work-family conflict. And when both of them experience work-family conflict, women actually experience a higher level of work-family conflict. And in turn, that impacts negatively their overall well-being and also their mental health and physical health, documented by many studies. And in turn, when a family experiences higher work-family conflict, women or mothers are more likely than men or than fathers to cut back their working hours or to take a part-time job or take a job in informal economy and also quit the job entirely. And so for long term, that actually negatively impact their economic well-being in terms of less lifelong earnings and also make women, especially mothers with young children, more vulnerable to financial struggling and to poverty in general. And so in that sense, work-family conflict is gendered, and actually, without addressing properly, it reinforces gender inequality. And however, policy can help because overall studies find out that more demands and more pleasure or stressors experienced at work or at home will increase work-family conflict, while more resources and support available to workers at both work and family will help reduce work-family conflict. And among needed resources, work-family policies can be used as a means to reduce work-family conflict and hence enhance women's economic empowerment through enhance their attachment to labor force markets and to maintain their income and to provide more opportunity for promotion. And so for my presentation, I focus on working parents. And for working parents, these two types of policy, time-related policy such as leave policy, parental leave policy, flexible work arrangement policy, and service-related policy, like early childhood education care services like ECEC will be more important. And policy actually has been found that have very positive effects on reducing work-family conflicts. And if they are designed well, they will help increase women's employment continuity and increase and maintain their income. And and then to have a positive impact on their health in general and increase their happiness in their life and also in their work and family lives. And also policies will increase father involvement in children's life, and that help redistribute the child caregiving responsibilities among fathers and mothers between men and women. In turn, help promote gender equality. Although work-family policies have so many positive effects, they are not adopted equally across the nations. Even when nations have these work-family policies, they are designed very differently across nations, and so lead to different outcomes in terms of employment outcomes and how well or how badly they address work-family conflict. And so reviewing these differences among countries will bring about changes to the countries who do not have statutory work-family policies or whose policies are not designed very well. And so that's why one of my studies actually comparatively review and rank 3 types of work-family policies, including leave policy and how well leave policy coordinated with ECEC policy and with flexible work arrangement policies through gender lens across 33 OECD countries. And after that, also created a typology of policy regime to see how these policies impact work-family conflict and impact women's economic outcomes. Okay. So that means I do not have time, or how much time do I have? Last minutes? Okay, all right. So overall, then I will quickly go to these slides so that you see. So among for the typology I created, I have 4 types of policy regimes, but only the first type has a very generous provision in their family policies, and also they have measures designed in the policy that actually create equal share of caregiving responsibilities among both men and women. And so you can see that reflected in higher female employment rates and higher maternal employment rates, and also increase dual earner family types and smaller gender gap in both the employment outcomes as all types of employment and also in full-time equivalent employment. And so I just want to say, in order for parents or working parents or people with caregiving responsibilities to integrate paid work and unpaid care work using dual earner and carer model, then structural solutions like statutory or family policies matters. And so that will be the direction for advocacy for more generous or family policies. Thank you. This will be my presentation. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Lin, for providing an overview on work-family conflict and its implication for gender equality worldwide. Next, please. Next, we're honored to have Ms. Yang, postdoctoral researcher at the Children and Family Research Center at National Taiwan University and adjunct professor at University of Delaware, and Ms. Rosie Chen, program manager at Garden of Hope, New York. Their speech will offer valuable insight on empowering They will provide valuable insight on empowering under-resourced women and supporting Chinese immigrant survival of human trafficking through the service of Garden of Hope, New York. Ms. Yang and Ms. Chang, the floor is yours.
Okay, good morning and good evening, everyone who are here with us. So I am Chao Yang. You could just call me Chao, and I'm glad to be here to present you this study, Empowering Under-Resourced Women, Strategies to Support Chinese Immigrant Survivors of Human Trafficking, with my colleague, Rosie Chen from the Garden of Hope, New York, 纽约立新基金会. So next slide, please. May I have the pointer? Okay, so first of all, I'd like to provide everyone the context of this population. So who are the Chinese immigrant survivors of human trafficking that we're talking about? Every year, thousands of Asian women were sexually trafficked from China into the United States for the underground sex industry. So living and working in the United States, they were undocumented immigrants. They work at massage parlors in ethnic Chinese enclave and risking of being arrested and sending to the court. So they may become, one day they may become defendants of prostitution cases. And then some, if they were lucky, they can be treated as victims of human trafficking or sex trafficking. So fortunately in New York City, in Queens, New York, we have the Human Trafficking Intervention Court, which is applying a very progressive approach to treat these women. So the court presumes all defendants of prostitution cases to be victims at risk, and their cases may be sealed if they could complete 5 to 6 counseling sessions with social service providers in New York City. So according to Judge Sarita from the Human Trafficking Intervention Court in New York, this court is not devised to solve the problems of trafficking, but to address the problem that emerged with arresting these women and involving them in the criminal justice system. So, so here's the Garden of Hope, the human trafficking service team at the Garden of Hope, what they are doing. So they are receiving referrals from the court and provide these women who were arrested for sex work or unlicensed massage work and sent to the court, being prosecuted and being offered this program. So the clients were referred from the court to the Garden of Hope, where the workers at the Garden of Hope provide them with counseling sessions. So this human trafficking service team at the Garden of Hope includes some mental health counselors, such as Oroshi, and art therapists, and their service capacity is 200 to 250 Asian women victims of human trafficking, approximately. And so generally they offer 5 or more counseling sessions and then issue a proof to the court. So the women's cases, the criminal cases, could be sealed. And so this project is currently funded by the Office for Victims of Crime of the United Department of Justice. So it's a federal funded project currently. And so then I like to introduce this participatory action research we're currently doing to enhance the quality of our service at the Garden of Hope. So the goal of this action research is to help us understand the needs of these Chinese victims of human trafficking, their challenges to service, and some useful strategies to engage them in service. And we'd also like to develop an action plan to improve service engagement. So we have conducted focus groups, and we plan, so it's an ongoing project. We plan to come up with an action plan and then try the action plan and then evaluate the impact of the action plan. So through sharing this research here with everyone, we'd also appreciate if you could provide feedback and your thoughts with us. So we could, like, it's an ongoing project, so we could adjust everything like later. So we employing an intersectionality lens to understand the needs and the barriers to service of these Chinese immigrant victims of human trafficking. So they were not only women immigrants alone in the United States, they were also participants of the criminal legal system. They're also, most of them come from low socioeconomic backgrounds, so they're under-resourced. So this has created a lot of diverse needs for these women. For example, as women of low socioeconomic status, they really need financial support, language, professional skills, and more work opportunities that they qualify. And as immigrants, either documented or undocumented, they need authorization to work. They need emotional support because they may experience a sense of guilt, sense of loneliness in a foreign country. And they need information and resources as they build their life in this country. And then as women providing sexual services, as well as women involved in the criminal legal system, they really need more knowledge about the legal system in the United States. They may have the emotion of fear and even mental health or trauma related to their sex work or involvement in the criminal legal system. So this also results in some barriers to serve for these women. They actually, for example, time and financial cost is a lot for these. They need to work. They were here to make money and maybe send the money back to their home country. So they don't want to waste time engaging in service. They don't have long-term plan in the United States because they're only here to make money, right? And as sexual women providing sexual services, and as women involved in the criminal justice system in the United States, they also encounter some safety concerns. They're like the people, they traffic them to the United States may threaten them, continuously coerce them to do something to maintain their status in the United States. And the feeling of shame could be a barrier to self-disclosure when they engage in service. So these are all different types of challenges and barriers faced by these women. So with from the focus group that we conducted with the workers, the human trafficking team at the Garden of Hope, we have found some useful strategies when serving these women. Okay, sorry, there's typo in the title, but this page is about some useful strategies when approaching these women and engaging them in service. So first of all, we found that clarifying workers' roles is very useful to make the women trust the workers and build the therapeutic professional relationships with the women. And offering a comprehensive overview of the legal case is also very much needed by these women. And finally, we need trauma-informed care because they might have experienced different types of trauma. We want to respect their decisions and values. Even they don't want to engage in the service too much, we should respect their choice. And then the whole person approach is currently the primary approach that the Garden of Hope is taking. And next, Roshi is going to share with everyone more about the direct service experiences at the Garden of Hope.
Yeah. Hello, everyone. I'm Roxy Chen from Garden of Hope, the program manager of the Human Trafficking Intervention Program. Due to the time limit, I'll go really quickly about our services, and then we'll go on to the Economic Empowerment Program and our challenges. So at Garden of Hope, we serve gender-based violence survivors, domestic violence, sexual assault, human trafficking, and recently, due to the community needs, hate crime. And we mainly serve the Chinese population, the Chinese immigrants, women, men, children, the elderly, and the services we provide includes crisis intervention, case management, mental health counseling, because our team are equipped with mental health counselors and our therapists. And we also have shelter and relief funds, material and financial assistance based on our clients' needs. For example, like food, clothing, medication. Sometimes we even pay their medical bills based on their needs. And also like parenting services, children youth program is also very, very important to us. A lot of the kids came as the secondary survivors, but we also are worried that they might go into potential abusers in the future. So we want to intervene when they're still very young. And the kids come here to our program as the mentee, and later on, years after, they become mentors to mentor the younger kids. So that's a very good progress. And also we have economic empowerment program where we provide individual career counseling and job readiness group sessions. And a lot of our clients will share their different perspectives and their own needs. So we really go on a case-by-case basis. So we provide our clients with these kind of, I'm running out of time. We provide our clients with these kind of choices, and they can choose whatever services they want to have. So a lot of the times they will say, I just want to deal with the crisis right now, and maybe like months or years after, they'll come back and saying, okay, now I need therapy. Now I'm ready to talk about my trauma. So going really quick, I want to talk a little bit about the challenges of our economic empowerment program. Is that sometimes our clients, they cannot make the perfect, like, have a new start, have a new life in the United States, as a lot of the law enforcement or other social service provider that doesn't have this cultural idea will tell us. Sometimes people just send clients to us and say, like, get them start a new life in the United States. Just get them out of this industry. But it doesn't happen that way. So think of yourself as our clients' shoes, like in our clients' shoes, like you're in your mid 40s to 50s, divorced, have 1 or 2 children, back at home with the elderly parents. And sometimes even you have your siblings to support. That's a big family, and you're the sole breadwinner. Coming to the United States, maybe even like these days, you got to smuggle into the United States because of some travel visa issues. And coming here to the United States, like, has already been a very big emotional burden and a financial burden. And then one day you were arrested by the police and went through the court system and okay, can I have 1 more minute? I'll go really quick. Like went through the court system and everything, and you later find out that it's not as easy for you to get out of this industry and start a new life, because there's still a lot of financial burdens you have, and this emotional burden add an extra layer of this trauma onto the complex trauma that you already have. So for a lot of our clients, like stopping work for a few months or even years, and then start to learn English or learn another work skill and go get a license or even go get a degree is very, very hard. Not even to consider like they've stopped education at the age of maybe 12 to 14. So starting education at mid-age is also a very big like emotional fear for them as well. So a lot of our clients maybe like wanted to try and gave up in the midway. And that's a lot of frustration we have to face in our daily life. So in conclusion, I think there's still a long way to go. And if you guys have any good idea, good suggestion for us, please feel welcome. And I think that'll be it for me.
Thank you, Ms. Young and Ms. Chen. I hopefully will have some time for you to continue to share your findings and to share your experience and with us later on at the Q&A session. Thank you for the insight, and you're doing a great job out there. Please continue this great work. I was very touched with what you're doing, and thank you for your efforts. Thank you. Next. Okay, next. Sorry, can I have the, I would like to introduce our third presentation. This is Ms. Ivy Chu, CEO of Money Trainer Financial Literacy Center, and Ms. Sandra Chang, a PhD student at the Institute of Health and Welfare Policy at National Yangming Jiao Tong University, Taiwan. Together, they will engage us in a discussion on a practical approach to financial social work in Taiwan. Now, I would like to hand it over to Ms. Chu and Ms. Chang.
I would like to apologize to the ding dong keep happening because it's a hybrid session and we try very hard to do it perfect, but we're still on the process. Yeah. Okay. This speech is a collaborative effort between CEO Ivy and me. It's called the Practical Approach to Financial Social Work in Taiwan. And but unfortunately, Ivy is too busy to fly to New York, so I would like to provide her video to you. Okay, so.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. It's my honor to be here on behalf of Taiwan Poverty Alleviation Consultant Team to share our experience with you. At the end of the last century, Taiwan had to give up controls on the financial industry in response to its accession to the WTO. This led to many newly established local and foreign banks rush in. Many financial problems arose during the competition, the most serious of which was the problem of cash cows, turning hundreds of thousands of young people and white-collar workers into car slaves overnight. And some of my colleagues and friends around me have suffered. Therefore, it also made me want to understand relevant financial knowledge and obtain a data from my business school, and devote myself into financial literacy education. Because of providing financial literacy training courses, I have the opportunity to contact with NPOs and corporate foundations. When discussing more in-depth financial literacy issues, we found that when Taiwanese society faces the issue of poverty, mostly it's only provided short-term poverty relief. Therefore, we try to work together to actively alleviate poverty. We have serving thousands of families over the past 12 years and successfully helping many families escape from poverty. During this period, I have developed more effective poverty alleviation counseling methods through the implementation of actual cases. Next, I invite Ya Jin to share with you.
I'm Sandra and also Yaqing, you know. And through the video, you have an overview understanding about what I'm talking about. So I think I can just skip this outline. Okay, and you also know Ivy. She's a CEO of Money Trainer Financial Literature Center. And this is me. I'm a PhD student and also a research assistant of Citizen Technology Inclusion Program of National Science and Technology Council.
And also I'm a social worker in mainly mental health area. And most important of all, I'm the young woman representative of WFW Taiwan. That's why I'm here. Yeah. Okay, so let me begin with some some Taiwan economic landscape. Some of you may know in the past, Taiwan had good economic foundation. We have very good economic growth from 1960 to 1990. We survived several financial crises in the late 20th centuries. And we also have some very productive, profitable corporations such as TSMC. But in recent years, we face some challenges. Our overall economic performance has fallen. Our GDP stagnate. We have phenomenon of working poor, which means some, even though they have job, but they cannot make a decent salary, which means they struggle in poverty. Yeah, something like that. Okay, and then I will provide you some gender economic equality in Taiwan. There's some key data from our government report. This picture is annual labor force participation rate and gender disparities. You can see from here, let me show you. The blue one is female and the yellow one is male. You can see from here, there's a gap. So the gap between male and female labor force participation is about like 60% to 70%. In the past, we believe that men is a breadwinner and women should stay home, right? And the gap persists. And the main reason why Taiwanese women leave the workplace is about marriage and pregnancy, just like Yishen Laoshi mentioned, something like the care work, the unpaid care work. And there's also a social norm, like we are believed to be devote more in our home, though, do the laundering, cooking, something like that. And this picture is about the gender pay gap. In Taiwan, actually, to the at least university level, the both genders education level is quite the same. Yeah, but I don't know, maybe it's also enforced by social norm. Like men stay in STEM area, science, technology, engineer, mathematics. Women in humanities. So that's induced and less gender pay partly. Taking 2011 as an example, women's salary is about 80% of men's. Okay, so you may know that women become a very high risk group of poverty when they because of unpaid work, because of they decide to devote their family more. They are very easy to fall into poverty once they become single mom or once they become middle-aged and old-age women. So when we talk about gender economic equality, I think we should pay more focus on those in economically vulnerable women. So I would like to provide a practical strategy in helping people in poverty. Yes, that's what Ivy and her team done. It's called Many Trainer Financial Study Center. They are committed in improving people's financial literacy, and they are grouped by multi-professional team. And in recent years, they also cooperate with the Department of Social Work of Fudan University to establish Financial Social Work Education Promotion Center. So what they had done, in the past 12 years, they encountered more than 10,000 economic disadvantaged individuals. And among them, 70% are women, and most are divorced women. And we can see here, and they provide more than 100K services. And 40% of them, they successfully overcome poverty, which means they no longer need government subsidies. It's a great achievement. So I think it's a great chance to introduce what Ivy and her team done. And they also provide very crucial education to social workers in Taiwan to understand what is financial social work, or to teach us the financial literacy. So the base is social work professional knowledge. The foundation is this, like to respect client autonomy, to believe people can grow on their own, not to decide for them, decide with them. But with financial literacy, we can help those in poverty and like some struggle in financial issue. We can become more effectively. So it become financial social work. Okay. Here's a step of helping individual in poverty. I read like math. The first step is collect information. You know, I'm a social worker. Every social worker knows how to collect information. But when we talk about like financial issue, what kind of information should we collect? And what is a unit? The financial issue, I think the most important thing might be the numbers. So we use the number as a unit. People poor in poverty usually don't know why they are poor, how much money they spend, how much money they earn. So it's really important for us to like organize for them. Only if we have a comprehensive understanding, then we can generate an effective program with them. Yeah. So the first step is collect information. Then I'll provide some form. How should what kind of information we should, and okay. And determine the degree of emergency. Some of them, they maybe have no food to eat tomorrow, and some of them, their poverty may be a long-term issue, so it's quite different. And the third part is clarify the cause of poverty. Cause of poverty is a quite tricky thing. Every family, the reason they are poor is quite different. Maybe they suffer from some family issue, or maybe they don't have a good job, something like that. And through debt management and accounting, it's all about numbers. And then we reach a consensus with the case we reach a consensus with the client on the cause of poverty. Okay, because how to say? Because a life is a client, we cannot decide for them. So we must have a consensus with them. We work with them. So it's very important. So it's all about like social work value, and identify modification, referrals, and tools. And you know, changing is really hard even for us. So when we accompany those struggle in poverty issue, it's really important to accompany them and like provide them some suggestion and emotional support. Then we can really alleviate poverty. Okay, so here's another picture about how we do an effective financial counseling process. You can see from the beginning, it's always from trust. It's always from trust. Only if the client trusts and trust themselves, they can do different. They can make different. I think it's the most important thing. And then it's a financial number, identify the question, reduce expense, something like that. And there's an arrow from left to right. We through numerical estimation, founding rationality, and build more trust. And there's another thing I would like to mention is here is a cutting target. Changing is not easy, so it's better to cut in a small piece. And only if the client and the social worker can overcome each small step, and they can gain confidence, and also the social worker can gain confidence, and then make the like a positive circle, and it will work. Yeah. Okay. I think I've run out of time, but I would like to provide you some form. As I mentioned, the comprehensive like data collection is really important. So Ivy and her team developed a lot of form to when we encounter the client, what kind of information should we get? Like what is the turning point in your past career life? What have you been praised? What kind of difficulties you cannot conquer? Something like that. Okay, they also expanding influence. They help the social worker to know financial literacy. So social worker are the profession who encounter the most client suffer in poverty, right? So they teach social worker to help them more. I think it's very important. Although it's in Chinese, there are some YouTube video, and here are lessons from them. Okay, so why I mentioned this, I think combine social work expertise with financial literacy empower us to offer more effective assistance to economically disadvantaged individuals. And the role of social workers symbolize women, help women, because most social workers are women. Yeah. I think in Taiwan and maybe in other countries, bring about not only tangible change, but also reflecting the strength of collective effort. So just let us together to provide more opportunity and support for those in need through concrete action. And I also provide a reference, although in Chinese, you can use Google Translate to check them. And there are a lot of case study. Thank you. Here's the end of my presentation.
Thank you. Thank you, Ms. Chang, for sharing your presentation. Thank you, Ms. Chu and Ms. Chang, for sharing your presentation. We could see how Money Trainer Financial Literacy Center helps improve women's financial literacy, elevate poverty, and boost confidence by developing a tailored poverty elevation strategy, combining social work knowledge with financial literacy. So it's fantastic. I'm sure, I believe there's some audience asking for the presentations and some forms. So please, if you're online, please fill out our form. We'll get in touch with you, and hopefully we'll be able to also provide some of the PPT that's been presented today. Okay, lastly, I'd like to invite Associate Professor Chang Jingfen of Department of Social Work at National Taipei University to share insights on the power of digital transformation to promote women's participation in the microeconomy. Ms. Chang not only teaches the concept and raise awareness of the importance of providing resources in education for women, she's a person of action. She leads many projects and is well respected by different stakeholders. Ms. Chang, the floor is yours.
Okay, thank you, Winnie. Yeah, hi everyone, and my Taiwan's friends on air. Hi. 大家好, give me a symbol. Yeah, a smile. Yeah, good symbol. Today I'd like to talk about digital inclusion, especially in Taiwan. We say with a digital society, but how far happens for the women? And you know, we think about digital equality. But how to do about that for the gender, especially for women's needs? And we talk inclusion, we use the evidence-based, and we collect lots of data. What kinds of education for women? And we provide enough opportunities, and the community is open, or the facilities is enough. Especially we think about information literacy. So we have some definitions about digital inclusion, and we talk about digital inclusion refers to all policy and activities promoted to build information societies without discrimination. But is it really good enough in Taiwan? So we talk about baseline and spatial needs. We think the technology acceptance, like me, maybe some gap to use the digital facilities. So we think about how the deepening of a digital application capability, maybe for young women is good enough, but for me, seniors, is it easy to use my iPhone, use my every day I try to learn a lot, you know. So especially we have information literacy. Like I came to New York 2 days ago. Then I get some phone. I use the eSIM card. But something happens if someone calls me. I'm kind of wondering, maybe something happens and it's not good. So we have a lot of knowledge we want to learn to toward the goal of equal digital opportunities. So how far it's not the technology is people's oriented digital transformation, like the facility, the knowledge, the skill, and some literacy, we want to learn and have no barriers. We think about the data is quite quick. It's for the worldwide. Actually, men use, for the gender issue, men use the digital facilities is more than women. And for Taiwan, we try a lot for gender on the gender issues, but the identity is quite different. The gender gap has not improved. So we keep this idea in mind. Then how far we have been done in here, even though for the opportunities, for the applications, for the platforms, for the patterns, it's not different for the by the gender, but we still need more to have some kinds of using and platform. I put some factor for immigration. Yeah, for immigrants, it's quite a lot of gap. They still face the situation. The survey found that the 9.8% of immigrants have used the internet to do remote work in the past 3 months, but the ratio have 11.2 percentage points lower than the national international internet use. So that it means the immigrants are less to use the internet compared to the all. Okay, so we think we talk about the situation. Maybe is the occupation, especially the family economic status, to influence them, to influence the immigrants to use the facilities and digital some applications in here. Yeah, but the good is 41.3% of female immigrants, they are more willing to participate in free government courses than male. So it's a good point. It's an opportunity. We use some kinds of education and the training in here. So in here, we have a lot of courses to intervene for gender and immigrants. So I have 3 cases I want to share with you. We have a lot of strategies for NPO to do. One is a lab adaptation, to know what happens when they use the digital facilities. Is that about the language? So we put the language courses to improve the language, to use the Chinese characters to communicate. Or the other is to understand the cultural issue. Maybe for me, it's fine, but for others, it's not easy. And building the relations to using the digital communication is not feel lonely, and they get a friends. And we have a digital training and met those training winners to enter to the labor market. So we can see we have a welfare support, and we have a literacy, and we have a build a community relations to help them have a digital abilities on the jobs. Also, we share the 3 cases. One is e-commerce. Like our presenter says, they have a work and a families dilemmas, and it's quite difficult. So how they do is a case in Taichung, Dali Women and New Immigrant Center. They have a lot of product, they have a skill, but they have no way to sell that. So that's why we try to use okay. Try to see me. Okay, they have some kinds of ability to operate the digital platform. And also they establish their own informal support system. So you can see this, this picture, and to know how to manage their products. Is the holiday market. Like go and communicate and learn quite a lot. The second case is the e-commerce, upgrade to another programs. And you know, we have a skill, we know how to do the digital platform, but it doesn't mean I can have a good wage, I can earn a lot. So they want women use the digital system, but they can earn more. Okay, so they improve their economy. They have a coaching, one-to-one coaching. A younger person to help those women to try. So it's they finished and have a practice them, have an online platform, have an e-commerce course is the outcome, have 10 courses, and 147% benefited. But they are quite happy because they improve their online sales. It's not easy. And also they have a 99% of participants improve their economy and employability. So you can see it's a lot of their products in here. It's a honey and it's some kinds of products. And third case is quite hard to do. It's immigrants. It's in Hsinchu Xian, yeah, Hsinchu County. So you can see it's a herbs, and it's me. I do the how to write project to compete to get someone to help them. So they have a lot of product, and they have a language course. We consider their welfare service, what they need. We also have a food bank to support them. And like Yachin presented, they also have a financial literacy, digital training, and information literacy, and lab adaptation. We call it a new women's power. Yeah, so we try quite a lot about that. So think about the NPOs plays a key role for empowering women's economic participation. It's a built-in platform to support women. Yeah, so we need to communicate, cooperate with some digital professions. Also, within a social support network. For those program, for this program, we go continue for 3 years. So it's quite a long time, and remove the barriers and discrimination about the language, and use a different language to do that, and integration of resources. The others is that we know the caring. We have a social care when they are training. We have a child care and senior citizen caring. So it's quite different, you know, to release the burden, and also have a financial issues that support them when they are training to get a skill. They also need some money to fit to support a family, and some counseling, one-to-one education. Okay, so it's on my presentation. Thank you.
We appreciate Ms. Cheng's overview on current digital opportunities in Taiwan. Thank you. I do apologize. We're very tight on time, so I will jump into our second session, which is the question and answer session. The first question will be for Ms. Yishen Lin. Could you please talk about more of your research? For instance, how was the supportiveness level measured? How was the gender equality level measured, and the like? And I also have another question for Ms. Yang and Ms. Cheng, so maybe you could prepare. You mentioned that many clients at the Garden of Hope are domestic violence victims. Could you please share any differences you've noticed in assisting human trafficking victims compared to those impacted by domestic violence? So please prepare, and after Ms. Lin, could you please answer the question? Ms. Lin, thank you.
eligibility, and also the length of the leave, and whether they have been paid, and how much they have been compensated for their leave. And so we consider, like, if they can get 66% of their annual payment for their leave, then that's considered as a well-paid leave. And also whether they can use the leave time more flexibly, and like if they have to use the whole leave in one box, or whether they can take the leave separately in the first year of the baby or the first 3 years of a child. And so that's measured. And also how well, because we all know that we cannot take leave forever, right? So parents have to go back to work. And so whether they have, in addition to the leave policy, good quality and affordable early childhood care and education services, if they have that, and how well they are in place in a way that they can coordinate it well with leave policy. For example, whether they are able to have access to ECEC service at the end of the leave. Okay, so if they use the leave and then they can switch back to ECEC smoothly without any gaps, that will be considered as a really good coordination. And also whether at the same time they have another access or entitlement to flexible work arrangement policy. For example, they can choose to work from home, or whether they can choose to have a different start day or different end days for daily work, and whether they can have reduced hours without jeopardizing losing their positions, without losing their job, and whether they can have different work schedules, so they can actually use leave and ECEC and these flexible working arrangements simultaneously. If they can use that, then this work family policy will be considered as very generous and very well coordinated among different policy types. And if that is the case, then usually they will be ranked as first. Can I still use my slide? Probably not. Yeah, but if I could, I can show you very quickly if we have time. I guess it's like this. Okay, I don't think I can move back to the slide. That's okay. So by using this index, we can see across the ECEC. Okay, here you go. So here is the index, first index, measure their supportiveness level. And you can see under this index, Sweden and Germany rank first because they have more generous and well-connected 3 types of policies, while United States rank the 30th because United States actually do not have any statutory paid leave policy, and they do not have like entitlement to ECEC policy, and they do not have entitlement to statutory flexible working arrangement policy. And then Mexico, Switzerland, and Turkey rank the last because they do not have any type of these policy well designed in their country. And then the second index I created is called Gender Equality Index, and it is used to measure whether or not a country actually have additional measures designed in the policy to promote father or man's use of leave. So if they have, what kind of measures they created. For example, some countries may have non-transferable individual entitlement to leave policy, which means that if father does not use their leave, then these leaves will be gone. And so that kind of as an incentive to push father to use this leave. And also in some countries, in addition to these non-transferable leave individual entitlement, they also have bonus leave months given to the family if fathers choose to use leave. So that means if father take up their leave, then the family will get another, for example, 12 weeks or 3 weeks paid leave. And so that is a really huge incentive to create, a more equal share of caregiving responsibility between men and women, between fathers and moms. And also, they sometimes will have like paid, well-paid leave, because studies find out that, for example, United States, they do have work and family and medical leave policy, which is a statutory federal policy, but they do not provide payment to this leave. So studies find out that even we have unpaid leave, both men and women won't use the leave, and so that is in vain, right? But if we have payment attached to the leave, especially a well-paid, compensation, like at least at 66% of annual payment or even higher, then both women and men will take the leave, especially father. If the payment is higher, the more men will take. So if they have this kind of measures design in their policy, they will rank higher according to this index. So if you use this index, you can see Sweden and Germany. So Sweden still maintained the first rank. However, Germany became to the second place. And while United States still ranked the 30th, and Mexico and Switzerland, Turkey still rank the last. Okay, so that's how I kind of compare and measure and rank these countries. However, I do want to say something because this study focuses on national level. So for example, in United States, different states actually have different types of policy. And for example, New York State actually have a well-paid leave policy. And so they may, their working parents may have different experience in terms of work-family conflict, in terms of their women's economic empowerment. Yeah, thank you. So I think my time is up too. So I hope that answered the question. Thank you.
Thank you. So to answer the question of what's the difference of human trafficking and domestic violence, first of all, I want to emphasize that I don't want to categorize my clients. Like, we don't want to put labels on our clients, but based on our working experience, I would like to say, because of the difference of the motivation. So sometimes they do appear like they have different elements. For example, for domestic violence survivors, a lot of them have their kids, and their main goal is to maybe get an order of protection, get a divorce, get the custody, and fight for visitation, and even for the child support and all that. And they have kids. Their kids are also involved in our program. So the clients would tend to come back to our programs and have a very tight relationship with us. And for human trafficking survivors, a lot of them are alone, came here individually. They care a lot about earning money and having enough financial support for their families. So they are more independent and sometimes more defensive. A lot of my clients will tell me that I don't have friends here in the United States. For the only one day that I get off during 1 week, my friends would have different days off from me. So we don't meet each other. So when I have my day off, I'm just spend time alone to take some rest. And I don't have a lot of social connections here in the United States either. So they tend to be very defensive and independent, and it's really hard to open up. And it's also another challenge for us during our work, how to build rapport with them. So I think the major difference would be this, but I think it's by the end of the day, it's also a case-by-case basis. We have different types of clients, and sometimes they share some similarities and sometimes there are differences, if I answer the question. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. Really wish that we had more time. Okay, I would like to hand the floor over to Ms. Chang. Could you see if, please help to see if in the audience there are any questions that they would like to, that they have for our speakers. Please take over, Ms. Chang. Thank you.
Thank you, Winnie. Is there any question we want to ask for our speakers in here? Okay, yeah. Please introduce yourself and your organization.
Yeah, good morning, good evening. I'm from Korea. I am SG for Women's Federation Korea. Your event today is truly inspiring. I learned a lot from today. Thank you very much. So I'm interested in the program for young women's international. I'm asking for Sandra.
Yeah, good. Thank you.
Yeah, I'm interested in the program for young women's international empowerment by Women's Federation Taiwan. Can you tell me what covered in the training? And I also would like to hear of your experience organizing this forum.
Okay,
that's all. Thank
good.
you.
Okay, good. Okay,
Sandra, come here.
okay. I just move very quickly.
Hi, thanks for the question, but it's really a long story to tell. Because I have 4-day training and I got a lot of support from WFW Taiwan, really. But I think the forum is the hardest thing I have done in my life, really. So if I had more time, I would like to share like private with yeah. So I think when I run out of time, maybe we can move to the next part. Yeah, really thanks for your question.
Okay.
Thank you.
Yeah, Sandra, I think it's a good experience for Sandra to learn, especially for young women. Maybe we can communicate later after the forum. Yeah, is there anyone want to ask a question for any speakers? Okay, yeah. Winnie want to ask, or any friends that want to ask online, on air? Anyone?
Professor, Ms. Chang, I have a question for you, if you don't mind. Because from your presentation, can you hear me?
Yeah.
Yeah. From your presentation, you mentioned there are a lot of NPOs that's helping these women and helping them to be able to sell and to promote their products. How do we share these results and to allow more people to know and to maybe hopefully want to join to support these women and these NPO organizations? Do you have any thoughts on these?
Okay, yeah, thank you, Winnie. Actually, we have a lot of volunteers to involve. Yeah, like to learn and to be a coach, to coaching like immigrant women for language, for digital skills, and we also have a lot of experts to build a digital platform. It's not familiar for social worker, so but I think we also need to evaluate, is it good enough for the product? Yeah. Otherwise, even you put the product on the labor market, no one want to buy it. So we have we know the public policy, and we have a social worker. We have a different fields of experts, and also we have a platform to connect the all networks to support each other. Maybe have enough time to answer you. Thank you.
Thank you. For all the audience in venue and online, we have a QR code later. Maybe you can leave your information with for us, and we will get back to you. I think there's just so much information, valuable information, and useful information for us to learn from each other. So we're very close to our ending time. Last but not least, I would like to invite Professor Wang to give us a closing remark, please.
Okay. Professor Wang, please.
Well, thank you. Thank you. First of all, thank you for your participation. Do you learn something new? Yes? Yeah, before we end, I'm going to respond to the friends from Korea first. Since we have been working for young women capacity building for many, many years, particularly to help them to achieve the goal of international engagement or international participation. So we divided courses including several parts. First part, open their view. What is NGO CSW? What is USA? What is UN particularly? And we expect them to know what is the platform for their sharing in terms of research or practical services in the world, in their life, or even their learning expectation from the NGO shares livelihood. So this is a very crucial part to deal with their idea, how to initiate their idea to participate in this program. And secondly, not everyone has a gender sensitivity or gender perspective in terms of policy or service banking. So we try to include the courses and programs to help them to build up their sensitivity to gender equality, to gender statistics, to gender responsive policies. So the basic words assignment for them is go to your proposal and make it clear what you expect from the gender perspective to develop your proposal for entering this kind of NGO shares livelihood program. And thirdly, which is so crucial, is as long as we are in this world, we cannot escape the value of UN. The UN is so broad, but we only focus on UN perspective from UN Women's policy and program. So all the participants need to know what is the current UN expectation for young generations. SDG program, any kind of gender equality program, what is economic empowerment program in this world. Those are something we expect. The young generation, when you join our program, you need to prepare yourself as well. Sometimes young participants no time prepare. We know you don't have time, but later you will increase, you will open your eyes in their future. Even you are not selected as the perfect one, but I'm sure it's the place to open your vision to participate in this work in the international level. So that answers your question very quickly. In fact, I have my PowerPoint, but I don't have introduced to you what is WLP doing young generations, young girls' preparation for international participation. But I don't have time to do that. But we have PowerPoint, we can share it with you, okay? In fact, I have General Assembly General Assembly session last month for the WLP, which indicated how we have done for capacity building in younger generation in Taiwan. So you can also share that part. But no time to talk to more, but I will very short conclude our session. First one, can all the audience give all the speakers a big applause? You guys did a good job from my perspective and from my consideration. First one, your most of a presentation share a very unique concept. What's economic empowerment for any kind of populations, particularly women who are in need of economic support, particularly for worker conflict people, of work who are need to be digital inclusive, and people who are in the trafficking, they also need economic support. And people from, what else? Oh, from the financial social work perspective. So this is a key, in fact, in this society, in this session. So what is economic can do for our society, for the young woman in different kind of disadvantaged situation. Secondly, you guys did very good job from Asia, from UN to Taiwan. Yes, we can bring a lot of work, learning from something from both of you. Although data from collect from United States, but some are collect from Taiwan, but integrate as a model, good model to bring back to for individual, for the family, and for the state. Thank you very much. You guys did a good job for us. Thank you.
Thank you. Great. Thank you. As we draw this insightful forum to close, I want to express my deepest appreciation to our honorable speakers, participants, both in person and online, and everyone who contributed to make this event a successful one. My biggest takeaway is action speaks louder than words. We are not only advocating for women's economic empowerment, we are taking actions to ensuring we take each step steadily and confidently. Let us carry forward the discussions and ideas exchanged here today as we continue our efforts to promote gender equality and empower women around the world. Next. Before bidding our official goodbye, we would like to invite everyone, both online and in person, to join us for a group photo. So could I please ask everyone online, turn on your camera, and let's take a group photo.
And everyone in person, we also take a group photo.
Wonderful, wonderful. Okay, we'll do the online one first. We're running out of time. Please ask you. Oh, wonderful. Oh, thank you. Thank you all for joining us tonight. Thank you for all your support. Okay, we will take a photo now. So smile. Keep smiling, happy, sending you love. Thank you. And we have provided a QR code. So please spend a few minutes, fill out the questionnaire, and please leave us your information. We would love to get in touch with you. And if you need the PPTs, we will try to get back to you with that as well. So our time is up, and unfortunately, we don't have much time to share more. Today is just really delightful and very insightful. Thank you once again for your participation. We'll see you next year in CSW 69. See you. Stay safe. Bye for now. Take care.